Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, I'm actually on here. This is my first time doing a spontaneous Facebook Live. So, whoo-hoo, I finally did it. It's been probably months, years that people have encouraged me to do it, all of the businesses that I network with. But I'm just coming on here briefly to say thank you to all of you who have supported my coaching business and who like this page and follow this page. And you've supported me with your comments and your likes. I really appreciate you. And I'm also coming on here because I have been inspired to be vulnerable. And so one of the reasons I haven't done a Facebook Live is because for me, it was very scary to just get on Facebook and talk to people and have people um, look at you talk to them. That's pretty scary. But I had an amazing conversation with Sophia Casey last night, who is a master life coach, an educator, a best-selling author, and the conversation really sparked something in me. Our conversation was on fierce vulnerability, and some of you may have heard it broadcast on my SOAR radio show. But as we were talking about fierce vulnerability, one of the questions that kept coming up was, am I willing? Am I willing? And the question comes up in the context of, am I willing to be vulnerable? And I just have not been able to get that question out of my mind. Not last night, not today. I cannot get this question out of my mind. Am I willing? And so I had to think about, why is this sticking with me like this? What is it about this question that's really kind of pulling at me, tugging at me? And what I came to realize is that when I answer that question for myself, am I willing to be vulnerable? The answer is yes, but not all the way. When I think about a swimming pool, I'm willing to get into the water up to about waist high, but I have not committed to like getting my hair wet and going under and just swimming all the way to the deep end. And I'm not exactly sure why, because the work that I did to be willing to be vulnerable enough to get in the water and actually get up to my waist high in water was transformative. And it has totally made my life better and gotten me, closer to all of my dreams. But there's more, there's more. There's more that I see as my purpose. There's more that I want to share. There's more that I want to create. And I think part of the reason, and I think that will come once I am willing to be more vulnerable. And what I love about Sophia and how she explained vulnerability in terms of fierce vulnerability is that a lot of times we think that they can't coexist. You can't be fierce and vulnerable. And I think that that's it for me. I feel like being vulnerable and showing my fear and showing my mistakes may take away from my fierceness. People may think I'm not quite as fierce as I purport to be if I'm showing all of this vulnerability. But what I realized as I kind of contemplated this today is that that's not true. That you can be fierce and still be vulnerable because we're all human, right? We're all human. And I can be a powerful coach and still have some fear around being completely vulnerable and require coaching in that area myself, and that's okay. I can be an amazing physician and still admit that it is really, really hard work and it's really hard to deal with people's suffering every day. And sometimes I do have compassion fatigue. I can be a devoted wife and still admit that sometimes marriage is really, really hard and the struggle is more present than the happiness. And that's just the truth. So I'm taking the risk, and the risk of being rejected, the risk of being hurt, because, when you're vulnerable, you can't control the outcome, to reach out to you because I know that there's someone else out there who has the same fears as me, who is in it, but not completely in it, and who's a little bit afraid of being vulnerable. And so I just want to encourage you that you can do it. You can step out there and you can be vulnerable. And as evidenced by the fact that I'm doing this Facebook Live, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. And I know that there are some great things ahead on the other side of vulnerability. There are some amazing shifts that are going to occur once we take that step outside of our comfort zone and push ourselves to just be transparent and authentic and vulnerable. So I wanted to share that because I think that that can bless someone else. And because, I'm going to keep doing this, I'm committed to being more vulnerable. And I want to share that with you so you can hold me accountable, right? So if you see me shrinking back and not stepping out there and doing the big things that I know I've been born to do, call me out on it. Give me a little nudge in love, and let me know that I can step out there and I can be more vulnerable. And in the spirit of vulnerability, I just wanted to share that there are a few things, new things that I'm going to be doing that are completely different from what I've done in the past. And I can't share all the details today, but I will definitely share those things with you shortly. And I also wanted to share that it's Cyber Monday and I have a Cyber Monday sale going on. 50% off my transformational coaching package, which is an amazing deal. This is the first time I've ever offered such a discount because I am a small business owner and can't afford to offer these types of discounts very often. But I know that if I'm feeling this way, that there's someone else out there who's ready to be vulnerable. And just like I have a coach, you probably need a coach too to help push you outside of your comfort zone and to hold you accountable and to get you to the other side of vulnerability where so much so many amazing things await for you, where you are shifting into all of the things that you've dreamed and some of the things that you haven't even dreamed yet. That's the amazing thing about a coach is that they can see things in you that you don't even see in yourself yet. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for whoever is meant to work with me to come work with me because I know it's going to be amazing. So that is all I wanted to share on my first spontaneous Facebook Live. Thank you for joining me for this Facebook Live, and stay tuned. Stay tuned for some more vulnerability. Take care and happy belated Thanksgiving.